Okay,
This
please
is
go ahead.
related to the procedure. The complaint was filed on September 8, 2022. The summon issued in relation thereto was dated 12 of September 2022, and the preliminary conference was held on 6 of October 22. All of these events took place within the 90-day prohibitory period prior to the scheduled December 5, 2022 BSK. Thus, the said acts of the SP violated Section 62, Paragraph C of the Local Government Code. The SP had no authority to take cognizance of the complaint against the appellants and act thereon during those times. Although the 2022 BSKE was eventually postponed by virtue of Republic Act number 11935. This law was passed only on October 10, 2022, or 4 days after the preliminary conference was held. It is a well-entrenched principle that institutes, including administrative rules and regulations, operate prospectively unless the legislative intent to the contrary is clear, because the retroactive vested the law looks forward, not backward. Absent any express provision of the retroactivity of Republic Act number 11935, it could not divest the right of appellants against any investigation within the 90-day prohibitory period. But even if this office were to consider the complaint as having been validly filed, the same still fails upon a consideration of the merits. The liability of Vice Mayor Dumanjug. Anent the liability of Vice Mayor Dumanjug, the SP found her administratively liable for failing to faithfully discharge the obligation attendant to her office. The SP ruled that had she exercised due diligence and scrutinized the technicalities of the loan and the actual condition of the purchase units, she could have prevented the purchase of the overpriced and surplus equipment instead of relying on the report of her colleagues. According to the OP, we do not agree, according to Office of the President. A municipal vice mayor sits as the presiding officer of the ISB, and her mandate is to ensure that the ISB effectively conduct its business for the general welfare of the entire municipality. The Vice Mayor's role is to embody impartiality, and as the presiding officer of the ISB, she is without liberty to take sides or to cast a vote on every question for deliberation of the body, unless the vote is only to break a tie. Vice Mayor Dumanjug's responsibility as a presiding officer of the ISB was limited only to presiding over the ISB's proceedings for the purchase of the heavy machineries. She had no participation in their procurement, and even assuming arguendo that the procurement thereof were tainted with irregularities, her limited participation negated any liability on her part.
Excuse me, pause muna sandali. What you are reading right now is the
Decision of the office of the
coming
President.
from the Office of the President in response to your appeal
Appeal, yes.
for the
reversing, because we got last May 24, the Office of the President released a decision. It is reversed and set aside and exonerated. It means
So how many decisions?
two decisions, and it is contrary.
Sandali. For the corresponding to the two decisions coming from
The SP.
Sangguniang Palaluigan.
Yes.
Governor, sandali were you aware of this? Two decisions coming from the Office of the President as a result of their appeal?
Yes, Your Honor. But that decision that she is referring to is not the issue of this illegal occupation, because that expired already on June 5. That refers to the administrative complaint of 02-22. The one that was served by them on May 30 is the case of 01-23. It was the third case, Your Honor. And that is that case that they defied the order of the Sanggunian and did the illegal occupation of the office of the mayor.
Yes, sandali. Go ba? Para maklaro tayo dito. Meron silang dalawang desisyon ang sangguniang panlalawigan. Tatlo?
Tatlo na.
Ano yung pangatlo?
Itong 01-23, which was implemented ang preventive suspension, yun yung May 30. That's the preventive suspension na hindi nila that they unlawfully continue to occupy the municipal hall, and that lately the decision for its 6 months penalty was decided just last week.
But sandali their legal occupation, according to you, was anchored on the fact that they were suspended by those two sangguniang yung dalawang desisyon na yun.
No,
Kaya after this, kahit na meron na silang dalawang desisyon, they continue to occupy the municipal building. Yan bang gusto mong palabasin?
Your Honor, that appeal decision was that case on 01-22 and 02-22, whose penalty expired on June 5. This is the one that they illegally occupied and defied is the case of 01-23, which was whose preventive suspension was handed down on May 30, Your Honor, which that was the a separate case already with that which was appealed before the office of the President.
So yung pangatlo, anong case yun?
Your Honor.
Betrayal of
Sandali lang, sandali.
betrayal of public trust in relation to the provisions of the Local Government Code, Section 60, paragraph B, C, and H, Your Honor.
Thank you, Governor.
Admin case 1-23.
Yes,
The
thank
appeal
you.
decision, admin case 01-22. That was last year, and admin case 02-22.
Thank you. So, tatlo pala yung sa inyo, yung dalawa ni-reverse ng Office of the President. Ang basis pala sa action nila is yung pangatlo.
Can I narrate?
Yes.
I will try to make it very brief and concise. Nakasuhan yung parents ko ng September. October, nag-file sila. So, we will go to the October 5 incident. Sinuspend yung parents ko. Doon sa graft and corruption daw. Tapos, nagpadala kami ng sulat doon sa DILG National. Nakatanggap kami noong October 27 ng DILG Opinion 140 Series 2022 na nakasaad doon na All Travelers Act ang suspension order ng Sangguniang Panlalawigan. And the DILG Region 10, RD Soyco, received a copy of that because he was copy furnished. I called the DILG Region 10 and asked kung anong ginawa nila. And Mr. Bakal, I think that is the Chief of Staff of RD Soyco, he only answered me, "Ma'am, we cannot comment on that because we are only copy furnished." So, yung suspension October 5. Tapos, October 27, nakatanggap na tayo ng DILG opinion. At that time, nag-file din tayo ng petition doon sa RTC. Doon sa RTC ng Tangub City, at first, sabi ng RTC judge, it is sufficient and informed and insubstantial yung kaso na final namin. So, mayroong nangyari na series of hearings. And then, After a month or so, nag-decide si RTC na wala pala siyang jurisdiction. So, malapit nang matapos yung preventive suspension natin. Kasi mag-end na siya ng December 3. So, December 3 was Saturday. So, December 5, automatically, mag-assume na sila, dalawa. So, ang nangyari, nung 5, may sinerve na naman ulit na suspension, penalty suspension. So, intended talaga, intention talaga, no? Kasi pagkatapos, meron agad. Pero, as purely question of law, kasi yung suspension order, walang perma ng governor. Only, sabi nila, the SP daw, it is final and executory na daw yung order nila. But our lawyer really make a manifestation, written manifestation, address to the SP, address to the DILG, lahat, binigyan sila ng kopya, the acting mayor, and even Chief Sumagang. So, ang nangyari, nag-report yung parents ko ng December 12, 13, and 14. Kasi nag-duty lang sila, baka as per advice by our council, baka ma-abandonment. Kasi wala pa talagang, ano ba talaga yun? Walang sagot. Walang implementation order. Kasi sa pagkaiintindi ko, only the governor, the mayor, the president, the DILG, and the ombudsman can implement a suspension order. The Sangguniang Panlalawigan can only recommend, but the governor, the mayor, the president can only can implement suspension order.
Break muna, break. Governor, is it true na wala kang napirmahan na implementation order on that third decision coming from the Sangguniang Panlalawigan? Hindi mo napirmahan daw yun?
Your Honor, I think what the suspended Mayor Charlotte was raising was the implementation of the penalty of 6-month suspension on the 02-22 case. Yeah, the implementation, Your Honor, of that decision of the Sanggunian under the local government code is self-executory. Hindi na kailangan ng implementing order ng governor because it is our understanding in the local government code that it is only the 60 days preventive suspension that the Sanggunian will have to recommend it to the governor and for the governor to implement it. But that decision he's referring to was already the decision of the case. And be that as it may, Your Honor, that is no longer the case, which is the subject of this investigation. Because the case that is subject to this investigation is 01-23 that leads to their illegal occupation of the office of the mayor. So yung 02-2022, hindi na yan ang dahilan na nag-illegal occupy sila. Itong preventive suspension ng 01-23 which was handed to them on May 30, which is a separate case. There is no appeal in Malacanang. They went to the court for a TRO, but until today, there was no TRO issued by the court. And the 60 days preventive suspension expired already last July 30, Your Honor. So again, let me reiterate, the issue of this inquiry is the illegal occupation of the suspended Mayor DUMANJUG on the order of the Sanggunian suspending them 60 days, which was issued on May 29 and was implemented by the governor on May 30.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Sabi ni Governor, it is separate. 'Di ba? Sabi niya, yung ang issue dito, binalik natin kasi doon nag-umpisa ang lahat na 'yon. Yung final ni Ricky Bulahan at saka ni Alberto Quizon na betrayal of public trust last March 13, which is kung questionin mo yung betrayal of public trust, can be only filed to the impeachable officers. Unfortunately, my parents are not impeachable.
Well, Mayor, kababasa ko lang doon sa kwan, ha? Pasensya na kayo. Sana yung Jo? Kababasa ko lang dito sa provision niya sa local government code. Andoon yan. Kasama yan.
Wala, sir.
Sandali.
Local government. Betrayal? Betrayal of public trust?
Betrayal of public trust.
Uh,
Dali, ha? Hindi ako abogado, ha? Pero binasa ko lang ito. Dali lang.
mayroon din kaming local government.
Jo, saan na yung kwan? Yung particular provisions of the revised penal code? Ay, mo na... Ay, meron mo betrayal dito?
Section 16.
Tama ka, wala ko nakita yung betrayal pala dito. Disloyalty to the kwan pala ito.
Oh, wala.
Republic of the grounds for disciplinary actions. An elected local official may be disciplined, suspended, or removed from office on any of the following grounds: A. Disloyalty to the Republic of the Philippines, culpable violation of the Constitution, dishonesty, oppression, misconduct in office, gross negligence or dereliction of duty, commission of any offense involving moral turpitude or an offense punishable by at least prison mayor, abuse of authority, unauthorized absence of 15 consecutive working days, except in the case of members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Sangguniang Palungsod, Sangguniang Bayan, and Sangguniang Barangay. Application for an or acquisition of foreign citizenship or residence or the status of an immigrant of another country, and such other grounds as may be provided in this code and other laws. An elective local official may be removed from office on the grounds enumerated above by order of the proper court. Ito yung sa kriminal. Ito naman for form and filing of administrative complaints. A verified complaint against an erring local elective official shall be prepared as follows.
So, wala talaga, Senator.
Walang nakalagay doon.
So, kaya nga, hindi talaga impeachable officers yung mayor at saka vice mayor. It only happened in Misamis Occidental na ang mayor at saka vice mayor
Yeah?
nagkakaso ng betrayal of public